So the topic is to get immunized with live Pramod vaccine. Okay, and it is with love from Dr. Pramod Jog. Of course, whenever I say love, you will understand it, it will definitely have some full form. So whenever I go for any meeting, I learn a lot. So that is L, more than others. Whether audience learns or no, I don't know, but I definitely learn. Okay. O is oxygen. I get a lot of oxygen when I come to Baroda or Ahmedabad or any other place, so that it is enough for me for the next few months. V is, vibrations, vibes. I know that I am with you. Okay. One of my senior teachers, Mrs. Khire, she met me recently. She was traveling in a, public bus. I asked her, Madam, you are having a nice Mercedes. Why are you moving in a bus? She said, Pramod, I want to be with the common people. So I am traveling in the bus. Okay. So I want to be with all of you. Otherwise, sir mein hawa chali jati hai and then people do not remain on the ground. And E is, of course, enjoyment. So that is with love. And you can see that in addition to my usual official degrees, there are two more degrees which are self-inflicted. One of them is PhD, that is the Professor of the Happiness Department, and FOTC, which stands for Father of Two Children. Okay, but they are important degrees in life. And I met one of my friends a few days back, Dr. Kishore, and of course, I met him, I asked him, Kishore, how are you doing? He said, Pramod, what should I tell you? I am taking one capsule of push mycin every day. My children are not here. My daughter is abroad. My son is an intensivist. He is in New York. And I have a lot of money in the cupboard. I can survive for the rest of my life. And, these days, the bodily, physical weakness is also there. My wife is also not very happy. इतना कुछ जमता नहीं आजकल वो भी problem है रात को भी थोड़ा सा so I could sense that there is a sense of bit of frustration. Of course, now we are a close group, so I am talking to you freely. So, I could, sense that. So I said, why has to take a tablet or a capsule of push mycin? Because he said, I am pushing my life, zindagi dhakel raha hu. So that is what he was saying. So I said, this should not happen to our colleagues who are so enthusiastic. And then I analyzed that basically, we have certain things which start from the alphabet D. Okay, so basically we are in the center, a doctor. That is the first D. We get surrounded by, of course, the dear ones after we get married, the degree, the dollars. But the central D with all other Ds becomes a donkey, okay, D. And all those childlike qualities which are there in the heart and the mind of Dr. Jog, slowly and gradually they start disappearing, which should not happen. So please remember to have the vaccine of maintaining your childlike qualities. Don't lose them. If you have a nice smile like a child, smile. Whatever is in the heart, in the mind, speak it out. And these are very important things. I have seen so many of my colleagues who were so nice in cricket and football and tennis and singing. After 30, 40 years, they lost all those qualities simply because they, continued to be in their practice, earning money and keeping busy from 9 to 9. And that's why this is important. So the first vaccine you must take is to remove the mask, okay? We have different masks for different people at different situations. So we have one mask for the wife, one for children, one for the in-laws. You have to smile at the in-laws when they come home. One for the friends, one for the neighbors, one for the hospital staff, one for the patients. And then Dr. Jog forgets what is his real face looking like. It is very important. So keep the same face for all. You will never repent, okay? And as I told you in the afternoon, in addition to that happy birthday to flu, you must remember HBD also stands for hypertension, blood sugar and dyslipidemia. Okay. So please remember to check your own blood pressure and your partner's blood pressure on every happy birthday. In fact, I go to my friend's house and do not take any cake or anything, but I usually make him lie down and with the help of the sphygmomanometer, I check his blood pressure and also check his blood sugar with the help of a glucometer, tell him that everything is fine and also ask him to send that sample for lipid level. This is the best thing that you can do, because unless you are physically fit, you cannot enjoy even this talk which Dr. Jog is giving in front of you. So remember that happy birthday has to be celebrated in this way, and that's why you must have a nice lifestyle vaccine. Okay, so be breathoholic. Even when you are sitting over here, take deep breath in and out continuously. Okay, don't sit like that. If you see me many times, I am walking at the back. You may not notice me because you are looking at the screen, but I always tend to complete my 10,000 steps of the day, because on the days of the meeting I cannot have my morning walk. Okay, so do that. If the lectures are boring, fortunately today no lecture was boring, so I was sitting, but intermittently I was walking at the back. So don't forget to breathe. Breathing is very important. He is the president of the Indian Society of Pulmonology, and he is the one. He has given a lot to us. Okay, so follow him and do every day in the morning. I get up at 5 in the morning, and after the morning rituals, usually for half an hour, I do all the deep breathing and Anulom Vilom Kapal Bhati Bhasrika, and this is very important, and you will thank me for telling you that. In case if you want, I will send my own video so that you will get inspired that our own colleague is doing that. And remember, in the morning as soon as you get up, don't leave your chaddar and blanket on the bed for your wife to make it. Make your own bed. It is a small thing, but it will make you enthusiastic and it will really energize you. Okay, and remember, this is something which you start doing it from tomorrow morning. But be with yourself for this golden hour in the morning. Being with yourself is additional vaccine. That golden hour or platinum hour, whatever you may say, be with you after this yogic deep breathing. Please read or write or meditate, whatever it is, but for that 1 hour, please do that for you. And then of course between 7 to 8 or 7:30 to 8:30, of course, I understand that women in the audience will find it difficult because they have to do all the household rituals. But wherever possible, go to the playground or any place and have nice brisk walk. Okay, usually I do all these things in the morning because I have some free time for 1 hour. So FIT, fit, means any exercise which keeps you fit. Okay, so that has to be FIT, frequent, intense and time bound. Frequent means every day, intense means brisk, and time bound means 40 minutes. And you must know that you will enjoy your fitness, but you must know what is the test for fitness. So I always tell my friends that the black colored blazer which was gifted to me by my father-in-law, of course free of cost, when I got married, is still fitting. Okay, so it means that I am physically fit. That means the buttons are still possible, I am able to put them. Okay, so it is the test for fitness. And of course there is no test for women, because usually they change the dress every 1 month, and I never see anyone, never from Ahmedabad, with the same dress. I come here often, but then everyone, of course, when I see my sisters, they have a different dress. So for them it's difficult to coin any test. And there is another test. When you stand up in the washroom or the bathroom while taking bath, look down. If you are able to see your vitals properly, then it means you are physically fit. Okay, not given in the Nelson's textbook or any textbook. So please remember, this is important. Okay, so in the morning, have a nice brisk walk. It releases a lot of beta endorphins, so you feel energized. And always walk with an antigen presenting cell, that is a friend. The antigen presenting cells takes the antigen to the T lymphocytes. Okay, so the friend is the one who introduces you to the world. Okay, he will tell good things about Dr. Jog, but how should he be? He should be FRIEND. He should be frank, rational, intelligent, enthusiastic, and as far as possible non-doctor. ND is also non-drinker. In Ahmedabad it's natural because there is no drinking allowed here, but then non-doctor is important. Recently I had a milkman added to our group of morning walkers, and he told me as to how to maintain the quality of the milk even after adding a lot of water. Okay, so you get a lot of general knowledge from these people. So keep a chartered accountant, an advocate, and so many, they are the antigen presenting cells. And live with the moment. Whenever you find someone good, looking good, whatever it is, so look at that particular face. Okay, don't pretend, otherwise looking here intermittently. Don't do that. You look directly. If you feel that someone is beautiful, say you are beautiful. Okay, doesn't matter. And at this age of yours, doesn't matter. Anybody won't say anything to you anyway. So it is better. Of course, that E in that friend also stands for either sex. Okay, if you have a good friend who is, if you are a male, a female, or a female if you are a male, walk with them. The friendship is something which is missing in our life. Many of us, when a man and a woman walk together, people immediately start looking, "Arey, kuch to gadbad hai." So that particular mentality is the hurdle. So please remember, you can always have people from opposite sex as your good friends, and in fact the combination of a male and a female friend can work wonders. Anyway, so these happiness molecules are dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter, that. Then oxytocin, okay, when the baby is taken by the mother close to her, then oxytocin is released, that. And there is one more called anandamide, okay. Google it out today before you go to bed. It is an endogenous cannabinoid. So you get a pleasure as if you have taken cannabis, okay, and it is close to my name, anandamide. And Ananda Kesavan will be happy to know that you can use it for your campaign, that, anyway. And then this is PET, that is the peak energy time. Okay, remember, everyone has a peak energy time. There is a morningness, eveningness questionnaire. Okay, so remember that everyone has a particular time when he has a peak energy, and the tap of the willpower is always high in the morning, like the water coming to the tap. Okay, afterwards it disappears. So in the morning you have a lot of energy. So if you are a morninger, morning 5 to 11, you finish all the important works. 80% of the work should be over before 11. Okay, those which require your brain, gray cells, prefrontal cortex, whatever it is. Of course, remember, some exceptions are there. P.G. Wodehouse had 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. as his peak energy time, and Benjamin Franklin had a timetable wherein from morning 5 till next day 4. See, if you have noticed this, he had written everything in his diary, okay, as to what is to be done at that particular, hour. And remember, there are 4 circles which will immunize you all throughout your life. The one on the extreme right is what you are going to do today. So today you are attending this IDCon here. For a month, what you are going to do? Maybe you are going to go to Kochi after few days. Then what are you going to do for the entire year after that? And then what you are going to do for the entire lifetime? So today's activity has to be connected with the entire life. Okay, so don't just do something today and forget it. So have some connection with that, and beware of the time wasters. Okay, one phone call will distract you for 15 minutes. Remember, 50% phone calls are to ask for favors. Okay, अरे जोग आजकल तू अच्छा इधर प्रोफेसर है, जरा मेरा काम कर दे, बच्चे को एडमिशन चाहिए, नॉट वांटेड. 40% आर टू डिलीवर बैड न्यूज, अरे वो ऊपर गया, बहुत बीमार था, आजकल ये नहीं, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. 5% आर फॉर गॉसिप, अरे जो क्या कर रहा है, चलो जरा सुबह कॉफी पीने को जाएंगे, वील गो देयर, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. एंड 5% आर ओनली फॉर गुड न्यूज, एज इट इज दीज न्यूज आइटम्स विल कम ऑन योर ईयर्स. So you need not have extra efforts for that. So remember that these time wasters are to be avoided. And in the morning, I do not read any newspaper for a long time, because as I told you, good or the bad news automatically comes on your ears. Okay, so if something is going to happen in Ayodhya on 22nd January, entire world is telling. Okay, so whether you want or no, you will come to know. So what is to be read about it? Don't waste time on that, and club unimportant things together. For example, there is a person who wants to ask for some donation for some festival. Ask him to come at 5 o'clock at the hilltop, in the morning, so that in the morning he will never climb and come there to ask. But you tell him, I will definitely pay you, but please come and see me there. You can use this technique for medical representatives also, with due regards to those who are in the audience. You ask them to come at around 8 in the morning. No sir, itni jaldi kaise aa sakte? But then you will have to come to if you want to talk to me. Anyway, and then remember that bright, brand new thoughts are always the ones which are your treasure. So early morning, when you are still in the bed, I call them as bed thoughts. So keep a pen and a paper under your pillow, okay? And whenever some good thought comes, write it down. And of course, in the beginning when I started this, my wife used to quickly look as to what I am doing and what is there under my pillow in the morning, what I am looking, is there any other photograph besides me and all. Of course, I told her this is a pen and a diary, so don't doubt anything. Anyway, so write down the good thoughts. These thoughts come after exercise. These thoughts come under the shower, in the washroom, and then also while you are driving. So keep pen and a diary by your side, on the side seat. Of course, when the car is halted at the signal, then only write. Otherwise, along with the pen and diary, you will also go up. Don't write while you're driving. And then remember this, writing the things down is the first step to getting the things done. So this diary in the pocket is always, remember, the extended brain. So please write down what your good thought come. And in the morning, please have a nice breakfast, which is called as IAP breakfast, which has a lot of iron, antioxidants, and then proportionate carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So you can plan it accordingly. And remember that the brain is engaged before putting mouth into gear. Before you speak anything, please have a lot of control. And that's why never speak about WIFE to your wife. That means do not speak about W, that is other woman. The obstetrician is very good and she performs cesarean, the incision delivery time is very fast and all. No praise of any woman in front of your wife. Personal experience. I stands for the in-laws. They are the best people in the world, and whenever they come, they have to be given your own BMW. Let them go and move around in the city. You fill up the petrol every day. Let them make any international calls. No problem. Okay, so they are the best people in the world. Remember, F is the food prepared by your wife. It is the best food in the world, and I hope tomorrow it will be better than what it is today. So this is the sentence that every day you must speak, and E stands for extracurricular activities, if any. Okay, so please do not speak anything in front of your wife. That is NBM. So in the morning between 7 to 9, I usually do not speak to my wife. She also goes to a college for working. But one sentence also backfires into 10 sentences. So I have started keeping my mouth shut. So nil by mouth, that means nothing to be spoken by mouth in the morning 7 to 9. Okay, again personal experience. And then my sisters in the audience must be thinking what is the tip for the husband. Okay, so remember that whenever your husband is hungry, angry, late and tired, never speak anything. Okay, so when he comes back in the evening, so it is halt. Okay, so remember, so let him come home, give him little bit of upma, shira, or maybe something to eat with coffee or tea, and let him settle for 3 minutes. That is a 3 minutes rule. And after that, tell him that your mother is going to come and stay for 6 months. Okay, so all the bad news has to be broken after some time. Remember, so this is the principle to be followed. Okay, and appreciation is a great tonic. So appreciate everything done by your colleagues, and remember, appreciate the food, and always appreciate your subordinates and residents also. Recently there was a resident, she had written some orders in the case paper, and the handwriting was very dirty. I said I am not able to read also, so I showed little bit of irritation. But later on, she, while seeing me off, she said, "Sir, will you not like to appreciate that I put the intracat so quickly?" Okay, so then I realized that I did not appreciate her good act. So appreciate the good act. There are always good plus and minuses in different people, and remember that there are certain barriers. Okay, so bad sleep, if you are bogged down by the work, if you have already had a booze at night, or your bowels are not clear, or if you have not taken a bath, or if you do not have beta endorphins, or if you have not taken breakfast, it is possible. So rule out all these factors, okay, and then you think what is the reason for your little depression. Okay, and as I told you, remember this date also, that is my birthday, that is 108, 10th of August. So 1 hour of good exercise, 0 screen time or 0 junk food, and 8 hours of good sleep. You must sleep well for 8 hours. So intense sleep from say 10 to 6 or 11 to 7 is very important. Okay, and that will give you a very fresh day for the next day. In the morning, I usually try to pedal my way on my bicycle to the clinic for additional exercise, and also it burns extra calories. Of course, I avoid this this pedaling when I am called for a cesarean. Otherwise, by the time I reach, the baby might deliver and I may start losing my calls. So I usually follow it only for nearby areas. You can try that, but purchase a very nice quality bicycle. Okay, these days very good quality bicycles are available from 15-20,000. Don't keep that money in the cupboard like the person I told you in the beginning. Spend it on good things, okay, for your quality improvement, very important. And also try to utilize your right brain. See, the God has given us two brains, left and the right. Left is for matching the pairs, fill in the blanks, and you pass your 10th, 12th standard MBBS also. But the right brain is the one which projects you in the world. Okay, it is associated with creativity and so many other things. So all those singers and batsmen and all others, those who are famous, they are because of the right brain. Okay, when I started my practice, there was another pediatrician practicing by my side, and he had written on the exit and entrance, entrance to the clinic, and people used to go there. When I started, I used my right brain and I wrote another, painted another board saying main entrance. Okay, so when people came, they used to see entrance, main entrance, chalo idhar jayenge. So, remember, slowly and gradually people started coming there. I never knew whether he understood my tick, but then anyway. So, use your right brain, it is very important. 90% of our brain goes to the graveyard without being used. Okay, only 10% of our brain is used. So you start utilizing your brain. It is, never, the use of brain will not, make your brain shrink, but we don't utilize it. Okay, and in the morning when you enter into the clinic, enter smart. Okay, like the clothes, blazer that I worn, a nice tie, shirt, spend on some good clothes. Don't go in lungi, pajama, and shirt, and see, even the poorest of the poor people, once I was not very well dressed. So a poorest farmer, he said, sir, आप हमेशा जैसे नहीं दिख रहे, कुछ तो अलग है. They also want you to, look very smart. So wear good clothes and wear a smile. It is said that the smile improves your face value. It is the lightening system of the brain and the cooling system of the heart. Okay, so always keep smiling. And remember, this is a picture from Mayo Clinic, and this is their dress code, and they are the best dressed doctors in the world. So you can see their faces may be, beyond any comment, but then their dresses are very good. Okay, so remember that proper dress is very important. And as I was telling you, have positivity, which is the best vaccine. Okay, this is very important to get rejuvenated. Just because I am speaking, I have made it rejuvenated. Okay, so be in the company of positive and the good people. Okay, they are the encouraging people. Whenever you reply to any email, don't just say that emoji, hi, thumbs up and all. Write few 5-6 sentences, and that's very important. And keep away from those rinkus. Rinkus are the ones who have wrinkles on the forehead. अरे अहमदाबाद जाने की क्या जरूरत है, इधर बैठो, ये प्रैक्टिस छोड़ के क्या कर रहा है, so there are always people who will pull you back. But then my father used to tell me, whenever you have a dilemma as to whether I should go or no, always go. And whenever you have a dilemma whether I should eat, don't eat. Okay, so remember, these are the two important things. So whenever you ask yourself whether I should go there. Okay, remember that. And never speak about your age. If you are 60, remember, remove that 0, you are 6-year-old. If you are 70, you are 7-year-old. Remember this formula. And never speak about your own bimari, that is illness. Okay, I have hypertension, I have diabetes, I had fracture neck femur, अरे दोनों घुटनों का replacement हो गया. Don't say anything. If you start speaking, the person in front will get bored. ये साला मिलता है तो इसी के बारे में बोलते रहता है. He will start avoiding you. कुछ बोलने का नहीं. Keep quiet about your own बीमारी. Never speak about the climate. अरे अहमदाबाद में अभी 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस है, बहुत ठंड लग रही है. वो तो ठंड लगने वाला ही ना. In case if it is raining, it is going to rain. So there is nothing to be spoken about the climate. Never. Okay. And remember to keep away from the negative people. In the world, majority are negative. As I told you just now, they are like open cases of cocks. They will make you be positive always. So keep them away from you. Of course, if your own partner is negative, I don't have any answer for that. So you can find your own solution. Okay. Anyway, and your clinic where you go has to be very beautiful and smart. And one must feel like going there every day. So the waiting room has to be well decorated, have a growth corner where you can check the anthropometry. There should be a play area, and the reception also has to be smart. The age of the receptionist has to be inversely proportional to your age. Okay, so if you are 70, she could be 20, and if you are 30, she could be 80. Okay, so that no problem to anyone at the extremes of ages. Okay, personal experience again then. And the head circumference of the receptionist is more important than the other circumferences. So of course that is only for head circumference IQ. Don't take, see, there is nothing in my mind, you are taking something else. Anyway, okay. And always give this PPF, that is a praise, okay, payment and food. PPF is very important. So give them something to eat. Tell them that if you come exactly at 8, every day you will get something else. Today idli vada, tomorrow dosa, something like that. Okay, so that they always come on time. Because if you are going to give them something free, they will come on time. So that it helps both the purposes. And give them payment whenever they ask for, and also praise them in front of all. Okay, very important. And if they want ask for a leave, let them take leave for 1 or 2 days. They also have some own problems. Celebrate their birthdays, jot down their birthdays and celebrate them, and cut a cake on that particular day, and also distribute the cake to all, and do not take that remaining cake back to your house. Let her take it to her own family members. Otherwise, तुमको एक टुकड़ा दे दिया, बाकी मैं लेके जाता हूँ, तो ऐसा नहीं करने का. I am giving you minor tips. These are important. Okay. And then your entire work has to be a teamwork. You know that there is no alphabet I in the word team. So build a team proactively. If there is a cotton ball on the floor, pick it up yourself, put it in the basket, so that the staff nurse or the ward boy will not feel anything, you know, when they are picking it up. They will say, "अरे साला ये भी उठाता है, मुझे तो उठाना ही पड़ेगा." So that is very important. All the senses: smell, listen, look, speak, and touch. Very important. Smell all the people in the clinic, all those people starting from P, the police, the public leaders, the politicians, press people, all those have to be immediately handled. Okay, immediate. Don't make them sit, otherwise they'll say ये chandelier जोग ने कब खरीदा, ये लोगों को receipt दे रहा है कि नहीं. You know, their attention is at some other places. Okay, so be careful. As soon as you see them, dispose them off. Okay, and listen properly. That LISTEN is in capital, because you know, if you reshuffle the alphabets, there is a new word which comes, that is SILENT, that is silent. So if you want to listen to somebody, you must be silent at the back of your mind. नहीं तो शेयर मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है, घर में बीवी क्या कर रही है, बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं, all that, you know, should not, you know, clog your brain. Remember that. And look into the eye of the patients. Of course, our patients are children, so they are likely to cry when you look into their eyes. You know that, because they know that Dr. Jog is going to do the tuchuk. And usually children are carried by the mother. There is no question of looking into the eye of the mother, because the husband is sitting next to her. So usually it is better to look at the grandparents. Okay, look into the eye, and then, because at that age they also feel happy that somebody is looking into their eye, and praise the grandparents. How nicely you are taking care of the grandchildren. You do not appear to be the grandmother of 4 grandsons. You just say this sentence and they will never go to any other doctor, pediatrician. Remember that. Very important sentence. Okay. And speak with all those alphabets again. Whatever you speak must reflect S, that is your sincerity, P, that is your politeness, E, experience, authenticity, and knowledge. All that has to be reflected in what you speak. Okay, people judge you from the way you speak. Okay, very important. And of course, put a pat on the back of the child and tell him, you know, what is the Indian cricket team doing. Depending on the age of the child, you have to just console him. So use this, all these 5 senses. Okay, very important. And never say anything ill about your doctor colleagues. NSAID. Okay. Today you are in your chair and the prescription in front of you for the other doctor is in front of you. You may speak anything today about him, but then it may boomerang some other time. So be very careful. This is an important vaccine you must take. Okay. And the table has to be clutter free. So in the clinic you have to be very, very calm. That is called as Kama Sutra. And then the clutter free table usually reflects a clutter free mind. So get rid of ego. See, the full form of the word ego is that it erases the God out. Okay, everybody has a God inside. Okay, so when you are egoistic, then that God is erased out. So remove all those things and purify yourself every single day. If you keep this aim, you will come out as a better person every day. And then, as I am telling you, our mind is usually attacked by what is called as thought attacks. It is said that we get almost 20,000 thoughts every day, and people die of thought attacks more than heart attacks. So convert negative thoughts into positive. If the waiter brings a non-vegetarian sandwich to you when you have ordered a vegetarian sandwich, you know, just refuse it at the entrance itself. Tell him, I don't want that. So don't allow that negative thought to enter. What we do is we allow the negative thought to enter, and then we keep on repenting. So remove that negative thought away. And that's why how to do that is only to keep 5 happiest moments which will be acting as booster vaccine in your living room. Okay, put down the, you know, good achievements of your life. If you count good things in life, I stood first in the SSC board, then, you know, I got the gold medal at pre-medical, I got gold medal at MD, I became the president of IIP, I have wife, children and all. Beyond 5 or 6 happiest moments, you won't have many happy moments, but then display them. So as soon as you go home today, print it on a bold letter, print it on your computer and put it. So when you are under frustration, look at that. Okay. Think about what was the opinion of your teacher about you when you were in school or the college. Okay. Usually the opinion in the medical colleges is different, but in the school, the opinion is at least good. So remember that once you put it up, that will bring out from the depressive moments, if at all they are there, and the negative thoughts will be converted into positive. Okay, and please take a break when you are in the clinic I call this as a Karodpati break. That means after every 2 hours of busy practice, close your eyes, put your mobile on the silent mode, and let people wait outside for some time, shut the door, and start counting backwards from 100 to 1. So 100, 99, 98, 97 mentally, internally. By the end of 2 minutes, this counting is over, and then you will feel relaxed to a great extent. This is called as Karodpati break. So it makes you Karodpati by mind after every 2 hours. Okay, need not take coffee. Coffee increases the stress. Many of us are under the impression that coffee will relieve my stress, I will feel fresh, but in fact it is negative. Okay, and DO, MO means you can take either day on, day off. That is Monday, Wednesday, Friday you can practice, or if you are too tired, you can have morning on or morning off. You can decide your own lifestyle accordingly. And then remember, as I told you, use both the sides of the brain to improve your creativity. So celebrate 6 months birthday of children in the clinic, because 6 months is an important milestone where they are to be given complimentary feeding. So many milestones are to be observed, so on and so forth. Okay, and put the pictures of all the gods in all the rooms of your hospital and the OPD. Okay, so that whenever there is any trouble, you can always say that I treated but he could not cure. Okay, so you can point fingers to the gods if they are put up in the OPD and others. Okay, but in any case, always remember to have this important vaccine, and that is keeping the heart above the head. Anatomically, head is above the heart, but remember, have a look at the Mangal Sutra of a Indian woman, and if it doesn't have any gold bead, just remember that she is very poor, because no Indian woman will move around with a simple black thread. Even if she gets little bit of money, she will put some gold into the black thread, and in case if you find a black thread, it means that she is poor. So you need not say, oh, you are poor, so I am waiving off your charges. No, so waive off the charges, and remember that if you tell your consulting fees, say 500, 800, 1000, whatever amount you are charging, and if you see that there are facial changes on the face of the mother, you should immediately withdraw the charges. Okay, make them happy. See, we are doctors, and doctors have additional ability of being more superhuman beings, okay, as compared to lawyers, engineers, and others in the community. So people take us very close to God, and still people think that. So it's the ability to see the unseen tears in the person's eyes in front, that makes you really closer to the God. That is my belief. It is very important. And then I will tell you, what is spirituality ultimately. Now, you gifted shawl to Dr. Khalatkar at the inaugural session. Now, I would request Dr. Khalatkar to gift it to some premature baby, okay, so that the warmth will be transferred. He is going to get now hundreds of shawls during his presidency. What is he going to do? They keep up piling in the cupboard, okay. So, you can use the coconuts that you get for some malnourished child. So this is spirituality. You need not go to the schools and check 1000 students, 2000 students, not required. So you can do it in your day-to-day activities. And remember, your academic achievements also should be like the vaccine, which is a T-dependent vaccine. So if you start your business, that is the B cell, you know that the conjugated vaccines are there when the immunity is T-dependent. So T-dependent B cell immunity is always better. So if you are attached with some institute, you are a teacher, so it's a T cell. And if you have a business, that's a B cell. So have some attachment so that your academic performance will be great. And whenever you move in the vehicle, your four-wheeler, please remember that it's a university on the wheels. Carry good audio cassettes so that while going and coming back from your house to the college or to the hospital and coming back, you can listen to that. It will definitely, help you improve academically. Okay. And of course, enter on time and exit on time in your clinic. Okay, entering is many times done, but people continue to work for 11, 12, midnight, and they take pride in saying that I work till 1 o'clock. My husband comes at around 1 in the night. Not required, because this vitamin M that you collect, that is money, is very toxic and it accumulates. Okay, so remember, do not expand your work till the time. Okay, otherwise you put it off and then go home. So this is the gentleman whom you must follow. Even after the presidency is over, he is enjoying life with his family. And back home, as I told you, never go anywhere else, but remember the principle DTH. direct to home. Okay, don't go anywhere, abhi dost ke paas jata hu ya thoda jaake chai coffee. No, direct to home. Always say that I have enough money, time and energy to be with my family members. And remember that busy parents are injurious to the health of the children. Okay, so there are something called as parental maturity ratings, and they include the time, the role model and the pyar. Okay, so you have to be a good role model for your children also, and that's why you must plan a tour well in advance, so that you plan something for the month of May, that we'll go to Switzerland this year, so that children and the family members, they keep looking forward to that particular month of May or June. Okay, very important. Otherwise, if they are not studying, अभी स्विट्जरलैंड जाने का है ना, चुप बैठ के पढ़ाई कर, so people also, children also, they love that. So plan a tour well in advance. And I always say that this parents' unconditioned love, support and guidance, that is the pulse of parenting. And so accept children as he or she is. Okay, and that is why, remember the last line, that it is never too late to start loving your partner. Okay, I am telling you today on the 6th of January. Okay, so as soon as this meeting is over, if you have never said I love you to your partner, go outside and give a ring and tell that I love you. Of course, suddenly she or he may get, surprised that what is this, suddenly what has happened. Okay, don't tell that Dr. Jog has told it in the talk. So, and just see the difference. So, you will get a very, very warm welcome. And my dear friends, remember, think whether you are really internally happy. Okay, many of us are externally happy. Kyo Jog, how are you? I am fine. Okay, Dr. Jog is smiling every day. But think, so that internal happiness is going to be there if you ask a question whether you are really the one that you could have been. Okay, I have told you that there are so many masks which you have been putting up right from the age of 20, 30, 40, and that is why just remember that we have multiple intelligences. Okay, we have linguistic intelligence, so some of us can write or speak well, some of us have logical intelligence, we can argue well, some of us have musical intelligence, we can sing well. So try to explore whether you have one of these 12 intelligences in addition to what you are doing, so that, remember, the life beyond practice is the one which will keep you fresh in your life during practice. Okay, so in the practice you will never feel bored like that person who was taking that push mycin. And that's why you must have, remember, these, some of these stress busters are like singing, and then shero shairi, which also includes dancing, which we may experience after some time during the banquet. Okay, and then some social activities, spirituality, as I told you, and try to combat your immunosenescence with sexcellence also. Remember, sex is a part of love. Okay, as it's a closed group. See, there is no sex expiry date, and in addition to that zoster vaccine which is there above 50, I call it as a joster vaccine. It will give you additional josh. Okay, so remember to have this particular activity regularly. Recently I met one of my senior teachers, not very senior, but then when I was a junior resident, he was a senior, and I call him sir. He said, Pramod, tell me, if there is no sex in life, the relation of a man and woman in the house will be like brother and sister. So I was surprised for a moment. He said, what makes a husband and a wife? So he said, it is only sex. Okay, so maybe you can think about it. Otherwise, you are like brother and sister. Okay, more left for a debate between you and your wife, maybe. Anyway, so as I am trying to tell you, remember that this is a lifetime booster, very important booster, and smile from the heart. Not like the air hostess who smiles at everyone coming, and you are looking at her that she smiled at me, now she is smiling at other one also. So anyway, so that smile from the heart is very important, and be with the moment. Whenever you give consultation to the patients, just do not write down amoxicillin and antihistaminics and paracetamol reflexly. Just think and give cortical consultation. If you are in the moment, then only you will be able to do that. And you know the story of the person who was drinking that coffee without sugar on the Sunday morning, only to, that sugar was not there in the coffee. And he realizes it at the end, when at the bottom there is lot of sugar, which he had forgotten to stir. And that's why the coffee was tasteless all throughout. Same thing happens with majority of us in the lifetime. We continue to think that I will do it tomorrow, I will go here after a year. Do that today only. So as soon as this conference is over, book a ticket for Kenyan safari and go with your family. I remember Abhay Bhai had gone last year, so I am going to take the name of the travel agent to book the tickets this year. Maybe you can sponsor my trip, no problem. Okay. So, and also seize the day, whatever day comes in front of you, you seize it. make the maximum of those 24 hours, and of course that's carpe diem, and at the right time hand over your job to the next generation. Okay, don't remain attached. See, do not stop it completely. The practice, for those who are above a particular age, keep going to the clinic, but reduce it slowly, so that you can have other things which you have not yet been able to do, and hand it over to the next generation. See, the stethoscope of success is your humbleness, and just think that if after 1 hour you are not in the world, what your sister will say, साला इतना खड़ूस था, कभी पैसा नहीं दिया, कभी लीव मांगा तो खाड़ा लगाया. So do you want to say people like these about you? No, never. So think like this every time, and that's why I am trying to tell you that conjugate with a protein, that is the Pramod protein, and this, whenever you conjugate carbohydrates with proteins, the immunity is better. So remember that Pramod vaccine that I have been telling you is to be physically fit, positive, and with pyar. This is the primary series, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks. This has always to be there. They are the important vaccines. You have to be fit, you have to be positive, you have to give love to others. Then the live vaccine is the right brain which will keep you live. If you keep using only left brain, amoxicillin, antihistaminic, paracetamol, left brain anybody is using, no fun in life. Okay, use the live vaccine and be academically updated and rational. As I told you, T dependent. Be a teacher at an institute. Okay, and away from stress, motivated, and have one extra quality, as I told you, from those 12 intelligences, that is like the adjuvant in the vaccine, and also involve the other half, that is your wife or the husband, which will be a booster, and do away with bad memories. So just as in immunology the immunity wanes, let those bad memories wane off. So my dear friends, conjugate with Pramod protein, and that's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pramod.